Good evening, Internet. My name's Michael and I'm here to review some stuff for you. Tonight we're going to take a look at a sequel to a movie I reviewed a couple years ago for the Christmas special. That's right, we're going to take a look at Gremlins 2. Unfortunately, this is a compilation DVD, so it doesn't really have a description on the back for me to read for you, so I'll just have to wing it. Basically, the plot of this movie is it takes place several years after the original Gremlins, and Billy and his girlfriend now live in New York City, and they want to get married, but they don't have enough money to yet. Anyway, they work for a man named Clamp, who has a giant tower. He's kind of a parody of Donald Trump, I think, and as well as the old Chinese guy who took back Gizmo at the end of the first movie. He dies at the beginning of it, and then Gizmo gets picked up and captured by this evil scientist guy who takes him to the Clamp building, where Billy happens to work. Anyway, there's some hijinks that happen, and eventually Billy finds out that Gizmo's there, so he picks him up and rescues him. But then more shenanigans happens, and of course some Mogwai. Gizmo gets wet at the building, and some more Mogwai show up, and they almost instantly eat after midnight and become gremlins. And then the entire building is just overrun with gremlins. And it's all the hijinks of all the people in the movie trying to get out of the building, all the crazy stuff the gremlins are doing in the building, and then how to stop the gremlins in the end. As far as like the cast returning from the first movie, we got Billy and his girlfriend are the same people. They're back. And then, oddly enough, the guy that played the dude who got run over by the snowplow in the first one, him and his wife are in there as minor roles. Those are the only ones from the first one, aside from Gizmo, of course. Anyway, this movie is really, really funny. The first movie's funny. This one is funny in almost a different way because it's way more Looney Tunesy and crazy than the first one was. It's hard to describe just how insane this movie is. For one thing, Christopher Lee's in this movie, and he's an evil genetics scientist. And the genetics lab is really cool because all the gremlins start running amok there, and they start drinking all the mutagen stuff, and they start mutating. There's a bat gremlin, there's a vegetable gremlin, there's a spider gremlin, an electric gremlin, and probably the best one is one of the gremlins drinks like a brain juice thing, and he gains glasses and he starts talking like a professor type guy, and he's in charge of all the gremlins, and he's really funny. There's also the building is like a smart building. It has talking elevators and everything's controlled through computers, but they don't work very well. And then of course when the gremlins get a hold of everything, it goes even more insane, and it's just a really, really funny movie. The plot is pretty, like I said, it's very simple. Gremlins are in building, have to kill the gremlins in the building. There's a happy ending, it's cool. Also, the tone of this movie is significantly different than the first one. Like I said, it's way more Looney Toony. It has a lot of just really, really funny moments. But it's not like as violent or as darkly humored as the first one was. Of the two, I'd have to say the first one's better, and I like it more. But the second one is still a pretty good movie. I highly recommend you watch it. I definitely give it a 5. And that's all we'll have for this week. Stay tuned next time when we will review something else.